Oh, well, I really did try. I went out and it was just too drizzly, too wet, windy, but it was boiling. Let me get into a better outfit than this.
Where are you now? Where are you now? Always try my best for you.
Okay, well, that feels a lot better. It's still hot. It's still so humid. It's just, doesn't get this humid in California, but 2 or 3 times a year, about this time of the year. So today in the environmental news, we're going to talk about divestment. Ireland, the country, has decided it would completely divest all of its public funds from gas and oil. That's nearly 900 institutions. So, as you probably know, this divestment idea is a worldwide event. So far, the update on that is they have the promise of over $6 trillion of divestment from big oil and big gas, from various countries around the world and various companies. Whether it'll happen or not. So 360.org is the one that is the organizers of the world divestment from big oil and gas. Great idea. I've always said, go after the money. But you need the promise that this divestment money that they're stopping from going into big oil and gas goes into renewables and cleaning up the planet. That's when it really starts to work. We also have to figure out an alternative way to move ourselves from one place to another. When oil and gas is gone, we're in trouble. Let me tell you what happens. All industry quits. There just isn't enough electricity made to run even one plant, one big iron plant. Couldn't even get all the energy that's being made renewably. Couldn't even run one smelter. That is how small the electricity is from alternative energy. And it means that you have to divest in making everything very efficient. Alright guys, we're seeing something all over the world going on. And that's the progressives around the world are starting to wake up. A good portion, probably 2/3 of the whole planet, are on the progressive side. They're not for locking up children in prisons or shooting people for coming across a border. That's insanity. It's not a progressive approach. So yesterday, a huge protest in the UK. Some say between 250,000 and 900,000, depending on who you want to believe. The pictures I've seen, it looks big. Lots of placards. People are very angry at the Orange Man all over the world. Today in Scotland, he went to go play golf, but he was having trouble with protesters. All over the place. More huge turnouts. Thank you, Europe. You guys are great. You're doing what the U.S. is having a lot of trouble doing. Protesting this Orange Man. It's like a sauna today. Okay, let's go over and stay here and let's do a conversion from meat eating over to vegetarian veganism. For today, we're going to look at some foods for once. We're going to start looking at foods detail by detail so you know how to choose the right foods for you. Let's take the superfoods. Let's take broccoli, for instance. If you can cook it or steam it is the best. If you can just eat it raw in a salad, that's good too. What does it have in there? Well, it has tons of nutrients, like chromium. That's a hard one to get. Broccoli's got it in it. You have to have it. It works with vitamin B12. Vitamin E. Vitamin E is excellent for your skin, for both healing and the look. So you have a shiny glaze on your skin. You know that you have enough vitamin E. Protein, a really good quality protein. The myth that you need a complex protein with a plant protein to make it work, that's a myth. And also calcium. You need that for your bones. Another one is bell pepper. Bell pepper has all kinds of good, an enormous amount of vitamins. Vitamin C at a high level. Vitamin E, once again, for your skin. Potassium, really good for potassium. It has more potassium than bananas. Again, eat it raw if you can. Steam it if you can't. And then we have kale. Kale is one of your best foods you can eat in a salad. Whether it be green kale or red kale or a various type of kales. Make sure it's the edible kind. There is the non-edible type that you use for decorations on the table. And last is good old cabbage. I prefer purple cabbage, but I do vary the cabbage from week to week because different cabbages have different vitamins and nutrients. What kind of vitamins are in cabbage? Well, the big ones are vitamin K, vitamin C, vitamin B6, and one that is so important that we get every time we can possibly do it is folate. It has folate in there. Folate works really well with vitamin B12. Are you understanding how important vitamin B12 is? If you don't understand vitamin B12, the last video before this one explains vitamin B12. So if we go to the world's healthiest foods and we look up, let's say, broccoli, and we go down and we look at those concern areas again. What are the concerns with broccoli? Goitrogens. That's what's the problem with eating too much broccoli. If you overeat in one thing, it's not going to kill you. You probably won't even notice it. But if you were to overeat it month after month, you're going to have trouble. And let's look up the safety of bell pepper. As you can see, it's Nightshades on bell pepper. That's a good one to read. Over here on Nightshades. It's important that you get all the nutrients you can from your green leafy vegetables. That's where a lot of your nutrients and your vitamins and a lot of your fiber comes from. But there's also grains, nuts and seeds, beans, potatoes, lots of places we still haven't gone. Bananas, good for potassium. They're a little high in calories, so you don't want to eat too many of them. They're also excellent in fiber. So make sure you eat plenty of fruits and vegetables. And let's not forget to go organic. There's a whole reason why you go organic on everything you can eat or wear. And you say you need organic cotton for your clothes? We'll get into that later. It's all part of going vegan, vegetarian.